Spoiler alert, but in case you didn't know, the 4th episode of Game of Thrones' final season was distressing in more ways than one. Viewers witnessed 2 deaths, a long-awaited romance scene that was ruined just a few scenes later, and a moment of abandonment that broke a million hearts. Suffice to say, Thrones fans were none too happy with episode 4, and things might get even worse when they realize why the episode was titled The Last of the Starks. Watching the latest Game of Thrones installment, the answer seems obvious. The episode takes its title from a line of dialogue Arya Stark gives during a conversation with Sansa, Bran, and Jon.
We're family. The 4 of us. The last of the Starks.
Easy explanation, right? Sure, but Pure WoW has offered up a deeper significance to Arya's words and to the title of episode 4. Arya, Sansa, and Bran do represent the last living members of House Stark that fans know of, but Jon isn't technically a Stark. Though his mother is Lyanna Stark, Jon belongs to House Targaryen, having taken the last name of his father, Rhaegar Targaryen. And if Jon has children, according to the rules of Westeros, they too would be Targaryen. With Jon out of the count for the last of the living Starks, that leaves us with just 3 true-born children of Ned and Catelyn Stark, who have survived the brutality of political warfare over the course of the series. Some pretty big issues arise here. Bran has made it clear on several occasions that not only is he not really a Stark anymore, it's arguable whether he's even still human. And in episode 4, he reiterates this in a conversation with Tyrion, making it very clear that he no longer considers himself the Stark heir.
I'm not Lord of Winterfell.
You're the only surviving true-born son of Ned Stark. You don't want it.
I don't really want anymore.
It seems unlikely at this point that Bran will ever produce an heir. After all, he no longer wants anything. That leaves just Arya and Sansa of the last of the Starks. But it also seems highly unlikely that Arya will continue the Stark line either, once it seemed possible.
I've never had a family.
I can be your family.
But in this episode, Arya showed just how much she has changed, gently but firmly rejecting Gendry's marriage proposal.
And any lady would be lucky to have you. But I'm not a lady. I never have been.
Arya isn't about creating new life, she serves the god of death now. And in episode 4, she strongly hinted that her days as a Stark, and possibly her days among the living, were coming to an end.
You're heading to King's Landing?
Have some unfinished business.
Me too.
I don't plan on coming back.
Neither do I.
So could Sansa actually be the last of the Starks? She's already the Lady of Winterfell, and that could remain true, as she might have children who bear the Stark name rather than her husband's name. Yes, children in Westeros usually take their father's last name, but there are exceptions when it comes to noble lines. Lady Lyanna Mormont, for instance, inherited both her family name and title from her mother, Lady Maeg Mormont. Even if Sansa were to die before having an heir, it's unlikely that the long and famous Stark line would be allowed to die out. After thousands of years of rule, the Starks have intermarried with and are related to all the other major noble families of the North, most notably the Karstarks and the Umbers. Of course, both of these lines were apparently ended forever by the Night King's army, but there are no doubt other distant cousins with Stark blood who could take up the Wolf Banner of Winterfell if needed. And it would be needed. After all, as Lyanna once famously said,
"We know no king but the king in the north whose name is Stark."
And that remains true even if the last Stark isn't a king at all, but rather a queen.
What if there's someone else? Someone better?
All hail the last of the Starks? Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more Looper videos about Game of Thrones are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.